The following opinions are solely those of Boattest.com and its test captain.
Hi, I'm Steve for Boattest.com, and today we're going to be conducting a performance review of the GTS 225 from Glastron. Now, this boat differs from the GT 225 only in cosmetics, things like hull graphics and the colored gauges, so for all practical purposes, this one's a twofer. Let's start with a look at the boat on the custom trailer. As for graphics, we have the trademark reverse spear, and the color band is in the aft section of the topsides. Underneath, we have running strakes starting well aft of the bow and wide flat chines up above. These chines, of course, carry back to the stern where we see a dead rise of 20 degrees. On board, the helm is quite good looking and consists of a fiberglass console with yellow face gauges of the S model. Extrusions come out from the bottom in a roadster style. An optional digital depth gauge was over to the right. Below are pull switches in keeping with the roadster styling. These are cut from billet aluminum. Indicator lights alongside tow when activated, for the rare captain that may not notice the switch extended. The wheel is mounted to a tilt base. Below is an expandable pouch secured to the side bulkhead, and way forward, tucked under the helm console, is an hour meter. We could certainly think of a better spot for this, in the engine compartment, for example. The helm seat, like the observer's seat, is a bucket style. It swivels and slides and includes a flip-up bolster. Forward, there's an anchor locker that consists of an empty self-draining compartment absent any anchor keeper. There are 6 6-inch pull-up cleats throughout the boat. The engine hatch is opened by lifting the aft seat back. 2 gas struts assist with the lifting and hold the hatch in the open position. The GTS 225 can be powered with engines from either Mercury or Volvo Penta from 220 to 320 horsepower. Here, our test boat is fitted with the Volvo Penta VA270. A single battery is over to the port hand side and accessed by lifting out a removable storage bin. On the water, we'll take a look at her dimensions. She has a length overall of 22 feet, a beam of 8 feet 4 inches, and a draft of 34 inches. With an empty weight of 3,350 pounds, 3/4 fuel, and 2 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of 3,950 pounds. Freeboard measures 37.5 inches at the bow and drops to 30 inches as we move aft. With the single Volvo Penta VA270 turning an SX outdrive with a 14.5 by 19 prop, we reached a top speed of 51.4 miles per hour at 5,000 RPM. At that speed, we were burning 20.6 gallons per hour, which translates into a range of 90 miles. Best economy appears to be at the 2,500 RPM and 19.8 mile per hour setting. That produced a fuel burn of 5.1 gallons per hour in a range of 140 miles. Realistically, though, 3,000 will probably be the target speed. That made a good jump in speed with 27.5 miles per hour, with just a slight penalty in fuel consumption with 7.2 gallons per hour. We reached planing speed in 3.1 seconds, so she's quick to accelerate. We hit 20 miles per hour in 5.1 seconds and continued through 30 in 7.9. Bow rise was minimal on acceleration, so visibility is not compromised. And while on the subject of visibility, we seem to be looking through the roadster-style windshield at all times rather than at the frame above, but we did have some reflective glare from the gauges. And the windshield did provide a good block to the wind. She's among the driest in class that we've tested. No matter how we hit the wake of the camera bow, we couldn't get spray onto the windshield. She also handled these crossings well, staying relatively level as she launched off the wave and then made a smooth re-entry with no pounding effect and throwing hardly any spray, which is probably why we couldn't get any on the windshield. Among her coolest handling characteristics was her turning ability. Never a hint of chine walk and no ventilation of the prop whatsoever. She rolls only 9 degrees into the turn and stays well planted throughout. She doesn't so much carve through the turn as she does ride through it. In this manner, she stays comfortable with no tendency to toss those on board to the outside of the turn. This speaks of a good boat for the family of water sports, especially towing skiers or tubes. So let's turn our attention to how we'll accommodate the family on our outings. We start here in the cockpit, which has U-shaped seating. The quilting and color design carried throughout the boat is featured in the center seat. Just behind the bench seating is a large sun pad measuring 3 feet 1 inch deep and 6 feet 11 inches across. The sides can be raised to create a chaise lounge. Also, underneath the center cushion is a hidden backrest for facing aft. For water sports, our boat had both the standard molded swim platform as well as an optional extension. The standard is 19 inches out. We add an additional 21 inches to the optional platform, which sits lower and aids in prepping for water sports. The non-skid surface and stereo remote make this an ideal place to spend while at rest. We'll finish up front in the bow. There's room for 2 with deep secure seating. I like the recessed cup holder in the sides as it keeps it well out of the way. We think Glastron did a good job in creating the GTS 225. She has sport looks and excellent handling characteristics. She's above the price point class, but still competitive with prices ranging in the low 40s to mid 50s depending on options. The GT version will be slightly lower with fewer amenities. Both come with a custom trailer. And that's our full inspection of the GTS 225 from Glastron. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.